Hello again. Now we're going to start with the second lab, that is entity and sentiment analysis with natural language API. So, as we talked about in our sessions, what is sentiment analysis? So, any text that you send to ChatGPT, it can actually sense what does it mean. Like if the user is angry, user is happy, and like we did in the video of the large language models, we sent out a hotel review and we asked that if it is positive or negative, and it gives us a response. So just like that. So this is what we are going to do here. We are talking about entity and sentiment analysis. So you can read through this, but first I'll start the lab. Make sure you only start the lab once you are ready to go. I'll click motorcycles. All right, it should help us. I'll click open Google Cloud Console, and then I'll click use another account, copy, paste, password, paste, next. I understand. Okay, so it should give us a interface like this. Obviously we get that always. Now you can see the setup and requirements, that what do we need to do, but this is what we're going to start with. We'll create an API key again. We did that, we explained what it is. We're just going to go ahead and create that, create credentials. It has given us an API key. We'll copy that and then we'll click check my progress. Alright, so now what we'll do is we'll come to compute engine, we'll come to VM instances. Alright, this is virtual machine instances. Click the Linux instance and then we'll click SSH. So what it actually does, we are going to a Linux instance. As we talked about, we were working in the cloud shell, that is a short part, and now we are going to an actually Linux instance. How does a Linux instance look like? This is how it does. So this is actually a expanded version of the cloud shell that we were working on. Alright, now what do we need to do next is we need to export our API key just like we did before. So we'll do that again, and this time alright, I'll copy my API key, I'll paste it, click enter. It won't give me an output, but this is how it should look like. Now we need to make a request. So this is, I guess this is what we were doing. Nano request to JSON, it would open this. We will come back here, we will paste it, and then we would just Control X, Y, enter. It would save our file. Amazing. Now I'll just bring that here for, okay, I'll check if we have made a request. Assessment completed. Amazing. Now we'll make that request. We are also again making a curl request. I'll tell you what it is, but we need to make the curl request. Now we have made a curl request, but you can see it does not return anything. There's a reason for that. I'll tell you. So here what we do is that we cat result.json. So I'll just explain what we did here. So here what we are trying to do is we are calling the natural language API, right? And we make the client URL request to this website, and we used our API key to access that, a software communicating with another software, remember? And then what we did is we used request.json file that we created, but we stored it in a result.json file. But now what we did is we everything that we did, we wanted to store it in the results.json file. So we used cat result.json. What it does is adds it to the result.json file. So now it's giving us an example. All right. So Joanne Rowling person. So if you actually read what we gave it, so we said Joanne Rowling, who writes under the pen names J, is a British novelist, the Harry Potter fantasy series. All right, so we're talking about J.K. Rowling here. So we have given it a content that is plain text. So what does it give us? All right, it gives us a Wikipedia URL about J.K. Rowling, some of the content. It's a novelist, Robert Galbraith, okay, pen names, and a lot of things about what we gave it. So it is now understanding what we are giving it. It is extracting things from the text that we gave it, and now it is giving us some response. Amazing. So now we are calling we called that, and we'll check if that is working. and that should work. Alright, we're on task 4 now, sentiment analysis with the natural language API. Now we're doing a sentiment analysis. Remember what we did? We are going to do something of that sort. Now we're going to replace the code. So remember what we did for replacing it? rm request dot json. I'll just move it here for better understanding. That will remove the file, and then I'll write nano. I'll just go back and give us the thing that we already did. Now I'll go back, we'll go to this text and we'll paste it. So I'll just read it for you. Harry Potter is the best book. I think everyone should read it. Just keep that in mind. Alright, Control X, enter, and Y, and enter. Control X, Y, and enter. Alright, so this is what we did. Now we need to make a curl request, and we'll Control V, and we did that. Now we're not storing it in result.json file, so that's why it gave us a response. Now Harry Potter is the best book. There's a magnitude, it's the language, score, and a lot of things. So what does it do? So it's giving us a magnitude, so it means that it is a positive response because the scores are on the higher side, and then it's giving us a big and offset as magnitude again, score again. So for the two sentences that we use, it is giving us different scores. That means it is a positive response, right? Okay, that's a good thing, and it's giving us a response. So and now we need to analyze entity statement. So this is something that we did on the LLM video, but we'll do it again. So I'll just remove the JSON file again, and then I'll open the JSON file again, and then I'll copy this, and then I'll paste it, and then Control X, Y, enter. It will save that, and then I'll make a curl request again. I hope you're understanding what we are doing here. And again, we're not using we're not storing it anywhere. That gives us a response. Now okay, what does this do? So name is sushi, type consumer group. It's giving us some metadata. So sushi. Okay, what does this do? What did we actually try to do here? We are analyzing the entity statement. So what does this mean? That we are getting a sentiment score, but we are getting it for the entities that are in the request that we make. So in the previous text, we gave it a sentence. It had two sentences and gave us responses for both of that. If that is a positive response or a negative response. Here, for every entity, it is giving us a positive or a negative score. So that is sentiment actually. That what is the sentiment in everything that is written. So in sushi, it is giving us a type that is a consumer good. In the content and everything, you can see it is giving us something. Like the content, big and offset is this, magnitude, the score is -7, service is actually in minus, which means service is bad. This is what we're talking about. And in the sushi, it's 0.5, which means it is like sushi was good. That is what we fed it, right? Like this, sushi was good. So it is understanding the entities and giving us a response on the basis of that. Right, amazing. So also don't be alarmed if you see different scores, it might differ. So now we need to analyze syntax in parts of the speech. How do we do that? We again need to replace JSON folder, so JSON file. We'll do that again, and we'll open this again. We'll go to request as JSON, and then we'll paste it. Control X, Y, enter. All right, and then we'll call this, and we'll just see what it gives us. Alright, what is this now? Okay, Joanne Rowling is a British novelist. What does this mean? We are giving it a content, we are giving it a sentence, and then we're giving it a British novelist, screenwriter, and film producer. What does this mean? We are analyzing syntax and the parts of speech. So there's a process in like NLP called part of speech tagging. We are doing something like that. So see, it's part of speech. We are tagging it as verb, and then there is the form, the gender is unknown. So it is actually taking the things that we gave us. We don't know from the name that if Joanne Rowling is a male or a female. So the gender is unknown. We don't know the mood. But what do we know? We know that in British, it is an adjective. If you know English well, you know it's an adjective. And Joanne is a noun. We don't know anything about that. So proper, yes, we don't know. So basically it takes something as an output and see if that words means something. If it means words means something, it is tagging it according to that. So if I know something from a word, for example it's come to um, um, so for example novelist, so it is giving us, okay, for novelist it is giving us that the number is singular. Novelist is a singular noun, and then it's giving us a lot of things, like the aspect is a noun, we don't know that, and then it's giving us the singular because we haven't told anything about it, so it's giving us a tag and a number which is a singular noun. So this is what it does. It takes different parts of the sentence, tags it, and when we ask it for something, it gives us like a integrated response. So this is what you get from this. This is a punctuation, it knows that. So right, and you can always read this to see how the part of speech tagging is done, so you understand that. And now we come to the multilingual natural processing language. Okay, so this is multilingual. So what we do is we again edit it. And what do we do to edit? Remove, and then nano, we'll come back here again. So I need you to understand we are writing a Chinese, I don't know which text is it, but yeah, it seems Chinese. Control X, Y, enter, and then we're making a curl request again. We're actually calling the API here, that's what we do. Alright, so it gave us something, that the name is this. So now it understands, okay, it was Japanese actually. So now it understands what we're talking about. It is giving us a lot of things from the language that is not English, so that is interesting. It knows what we are talking about even from different language. So it knows that we're talking about Japan. It knows that we're talking about organization. It is type of an organization. I don't know what it means, but it's type of an organization. And this was type of a location, which is Japan. We can find that in Google. Google is an organization. Nice. So it can understand different languages. This is what we are trying to understand here basically, and this concludes your lab 2. So now feel free to skim through the lab, read what it means, because you still have a lot of time left. You can take your time to read it, understand it, but to get a gist, what we do is we are making a sentiment analysis, and we are doing part of speech tagging, a lot of that which is explained here. So I hope you understand that. If there's anything you don't understand, please let me know. I'll be sure to make a video again if you need a better explanation or you need a longer explanation for this. Thank you. And always, as always, firstly end the lab, click submit, and then click submit again, and then go back, and then just check if there's a tick mark. Alright, there is a tick mark. I've completed this, but I'll complete it with you again. Alright, there's a tick mark. That means I have completed it. Now, very good. Now I'll end this recording, and okay, I'll see you later. Thank you.